I think mental health definitely has been stigmatized in the Black community because of our close connection to religion. Like people always say, just pray about it. Especially folks of older ages, unfortunately, people can be stuck in their ways. But there's definitely a stigma, with mental health, because people think that automatically you're crazy, and not understanding that there's so many levels and that there's things that we all can try to work through because they show up in many different ways.
I remember talking to my sister about mental health because for our generation, it's a little bit easier to talk to her as opposed to my mother or my father. And she says to me, I get what you're saying. Yeah, we need to go talk about this trauma, but the powerlessness that we feel when a family member is killed doesn't go away with just talking about it. So what do we do?
It's really difficult, and that's another area that I have gone out of my way to find Black caregivers, because I've had experience with looking for counselors. I've spoken to, again, white women counselors who I was like, you know what, I'm not coming back here. Like, this is not working. You're not listening. You're not really connecting with me. That's why a lot of Black people, avoid mental health care, because it's kind of like, if you're going to sit there and then not be understood or feel like you're being judged or whatever it might be, then you're being re-traumatized.
I think sometimes when we see these constant killings and these constant murders and things like that from police or otherwise on Black bodies, we feel like we're helpless and we can't really control our bodies in this world. But when you try to at least work from the inside out by working with a mental health professional, you take control back of your body, of your mind. I think that's sexy.
My father is a tall Black man, dark skin, skinny, and I've never seen my father afraid. He is your typical macho man. His kids would never see that. So we're driving back and we got pulled over. I remember the look on my father's face. I remember the way he shuddered. I remember how angry I became in that moment because I can tell what he was feeling. I could tell the powerlessness that my 50-something-year-old father was feeling. And the way he responded to the officers with the no sir and the yes sir, and he was just trying to survive. And he just wanted to make sure that him and his family didn't end up on the news. My father was traumatized in that moment. My father grew up in Jamaica. I was born and raised in Jamaica. And he was well respected in our community. That was the first time I felt like he was little. That hurt me to my core. And I remember that like it was yesterday. But here's the thing, we never talked about it. We never talked about it. And I have a degree in the field of psychology. And I try to talk to my family about trauma and race-related trauma. Just like most of us in the Black community, my mother often responds with, "We just gotta pray, baby." No, Mom, we don't just have to pray. We gotta do a whole lot more than pray.